Great pleasure that I bring in my former friend and colleague, Mark Levin, host of Life, Liberty, and Levin. All right, Mark, that's my little take on the story, and I'm going to give you a lot of credit because several of my sources are telling me you were very influential in keeping the administration on the straight and narrow. What's your message to us this evening, Mark? And thanks for coming on.
First of all, I don't know about that, but I want to tell you, your opening statement is probably the most brilliant statement I've heard all day. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I want you to notice that this police state terrorist regime is targeting population centers, while the Israelis are targeting nuclear war sites and ballistic missile sites. And you know, Representative Brian Mast has been saying all day correctly, a combat veteran who lost both of his legs, and by the way, worked with the IDF for a period of time during his military career. Imagine any of these missiles having nuclear warheads. And imagine the Iranians using them, because you can't stop them all, and they will use them. And that's what the Israelis know. Ballistic missiles, the estimate is they have 3,000, about half of which or a third of which can reach Israel. But imagine if they waited 6 more months. The Iranians would have 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. And the Israelis don't have enough interceptor missiles to stop them all, and as they keep building them and building with the help of the communist Chinese, providing them with fuel material, Israel said, we can't put up with this. And this war that's taking place is more evidence why Israel was right. I would also add this. We're not seeing what's going on in Iran. We're hearing they're getting the hell pounded out of them. 200 jets. Can you imagine 200 fighter jets in the sky moving back and forth, really at will? Hitting these targets, hitting these centers. Benjamin Netanyahu truly is the Churchill of the Middle East, if not even more. And what he's doing is unbelievable and crucially important. And you said something earlier that's very important, Larry. Israel is fighting a war for the people who believe in liberty, for the West. Whether people in the West know it or understand it or not, whether the Democrat Party knows it or understands it or not, and they've become very bellicose on behalf of Islamists and Marxists and illegal aliens and criminals and so forth. That for another day. But we should be rooting for, praying for the state of Israel, the people of Israel. You know, you have over 100,000 Americans there. You got like 300,000. We talk about the number of military personnel, which is substantial. But we actually have American citizens there, which is substantial too. So we share our Judeo-Christian faiths.
Right.
We share our belief in democracy. We share our love of life. The enemy shares none of that.
You know, Mark Levin, thank you for all that. Thank you. I thought it was interesting that Netanyahu, and Trump for that matter, but Netanyahu in particular, reached out to the Iranian people, not the mullahs, not the ayatollahs, not the military communist people that run that country the last 50 years. But there was a Persian country that did a lot of business and had friendly relations with Israel, and also the rest of the Persian Gulf countries in the Middle East. I mean, it was a civilized culture, for heaven's sake. I thought it was interesting. And I just wonder what you're thinking. You know, I know it's early to, first they got to fight out battles, and Iran is attacking, of course, Tel Aviv right now, and I'm sure the Israelis are going to prevail, most remarkable operation. But the point is, maybe there's a point when the people in the streets of Iran decide they've had too much for the last 50 years with these ayatollahs who have decimated their country, decimated their economy, decimated their lives, and are basically running, as you put it, a police state. Maybe there is a freedom for Iranians, Mark. Maybe there is a regime change.
100%. The Persian people need to remember, highly educated people, many professional people. They don't have a lot in common with the Arab states and the Arab people. They share with some of them a religious faith, but a different kind of religious faith when it comes to the practice of Islam and so forth. You're exactly right. This is a regime that the regime is represents a very small minority of the population, but it rules by execution, rape, torture chambers, which they also have throughout the country. There have been 2 major efforts by the people to overthrow this government. They were brutally put down. More executions in the last year than in the last 5 years altogether. It is a weak regime. in many respects. And I think right now, the Persian people, that's what they want to be called, by the way, the Persian people do have an opportunity because the little state of Israel, with its warriors, with its intelligence, with its technology, are able to take weapons that we've sold to them, weapons that they've created themselves, and put it to use like no other country before. You know, the president says correctly, and thank God for Donald Trump, no question about that. And he says correctly, we give the most important weapons, the best weapons in the world to the Israelis, and they know how to use them. It's that last part. We had the best weapons in the world in Afghanistan, and we lost. And it just depends on how you fight this war. That was a forever war. This will not be a forever war. And all the people who said all the Arab countries are going to join in against Israel, you stated it in your opening statement, they are rooting for Israel. They have to say one thing publicly, but they want this regime destroyed too. Truly, the world trashes Israel while they want Israel to win.
I certainly don't know. I have no inside info on any of this. But I suspect, Mark Levin, that the extraordinary performance of the Israeli forces, in particular the Secret Service, the Mossad, inside Iran, that they were helped by Iranian collaborators who want Israel to obviously win this war and seek some kind of regime. I just have to believe there were Iranian collaborators helping the Mossad and others on the ground inside Iran. I don't know nothing, Mark. I'm just guessing here, but I thought I'd toss it out to you.
I have to believe you're right. And why wouldn't they?
Yes, right.
Why wouldn't the
That's
freedom fighters in Iran want to work with the Israelis and vice versa? And you made another point. The Persian people and the Israeli people always got along and always worked together and had commerce together and so forth and so on.
Yep.
So I guarantee you that, and I don't know inside either, but why wouldn't they? So I'm pretty sure you're correct about that.
All right. Well, anyway, the great Mark Levin, old friend, old colleague, so sensible. I know you're a busy chap. I know you got a book coming out. You got radio shows. You got TV shows. Thank you for giving us your time. We appreciate it, Mark Levin. To catch Mark, Life, Liberty, and Levin weekends, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox News, everybody.